Come on in. It's time for the Cosmic Watch. I'm Franklin, your astrologer, and we'll turn the lights on here and get things rolling. What we already have uh, someone who has joined us in the room, and that's Izzy saying hi. And Izzy, I flipped a card a minute ago, and I felt someone was here, and it looks like you're getting ready to start something new, start a new kind of project and new way. You're going to be learning new things, trying to line up the right people to help you do this. And boy, is this the right time to do that? Very good. We're in Libra for another week. Libra, the sign of emotion. If you're a Libra, you indeed are an emotional sponge, and you soak up the emotions of everyone around you. If you're in a room of sad people, oh, you feel terrible. You Libras cry at sad movies, and it doesn't have to be what you and I would consider to be the saddest of movies. They are struck by emotional content. Libras, and of course, during this time of the year in Libra, every one of us are affected by these Libra tendencies. And the one of the really big things that identifies a Libra person to someone else is the effect that music has on that person, on Libras. Emotional music, the Star Spangled Banner. I mean, anything that stirs the emotions just mesmerizes Libras. So, right now, for the next week, each of us, our hearts are completely open to feeling the emotions of the people around us and feeling the vibration of music that can just overwhelm the senses and take you to a completely different place. What music is supposed to do, yes, yes, and vibration that comes off of music. That's the most important thing. This is why when I meditate, I use the vowel sounds to tone and set up that vibration within my head to go along with as I get ready to meditate, I om, and I can feel from my chin to my crown chakra that that vibration. If you have problems with your sinuses, hum in and M, and you'll feel yourself opening up and getting ready. So when I am meditating and just before this program that we're going to put together here is the perfect time. This is when I need to connect to the spirit world and to connect to you out there. And the way to do that for me is to tone the vowel sounds. I begin with A, and as I'm toning A, I am opening myself to receive by opening my crown chakra to the universe, and I hold my palms up. I am ready to receive from the spirit world and receive messages. So the next thing I want to do is make that connection. And there, Mama Lit saying hello. Hello, Mom. Good to have you with us. We're just going through the process of meditating, and I begin with the A, and then I go to Y, and Y is my connection to the spirit world. So what I do is Y, thank you. I thank the universe for everything that has come into my life. And I tell the universe I will try to put it to the best use. And then I do that by toning E for healing, uh, to send healing to every soul who needs it, who can connect to it, who can accept it. Heal. And then I go to the more personal side. I, the most powerful words any human can say are I am, followed by the truth. So I tone I I am that I am. I am a healer. I am the card reader. I am a writer. I am here to heal the masses with a message of peace, love, and hope. Oh, peace, be still. Release all that needs releasing. You, and it's gone. And that's how I do my meditating every day and open all of my different chakras throughout my body. Mama Lit was saying hello, and Mama Lit, this day looks as though you are thinking of someone in particular. Izzy also is with us. Uh, Mama Lit, I see you thinking of a family member here, a younger family member who's trying to make a decision, and you're trying to help them. And that's a wonderful thing because you've been there and done that. And to share your experiences is such a generous way to help other people. Izzy, Izzy was with us before we actually came on tonight, and I flipped a card for you, Izzy, and it was the student who's trying to learn something new and involve themselves in some sort of a new project. Uh, what exactly are you trying to change, trying to retrain yourself on, and trying to make up for lost time? Because it looks like this is a particularly good time for you, Izzy, to be doing this. It really is your time to be able to express yourself. The we're in Libra, but our moon sign tonight is in Gemini. Gemini, the third house, all about self-expression, being able to present your ideas to other people, communicate with other people. So, Izzy, if you're getting ready to present a business plan, that sort of thing, or gather a group together to do a job, now's a great time to do it. It is, and the date today is 10/14 of 2022. And Mama Lit says, thank you. My niece came to just sit with me earlier this week. Yeah, yeah. And with what I see, what was, oh yeah, yeah, to tell, to be able to tell you how important you've been in her life just by leading your life, by allowing others to learn from how you do things because you don't try to hide it. You allow others to play their part. So you don't try to hide anything from them. So many people try to do everything, and it just wears people out when they're not allowed to do their part of it. And Mama says she wrote me a poem as we sat at the river. Oh my goodness. There are moments in life that we treasure forever because they really are forever moments. Mama, did you feel as though you had been there before on that riverbed? Did you feel that you had sat there before with someone who expressed unconditional love to you? That looks like that point on the river is from another life. You've been there before with extreme joy, with a wonderful uh, a wonderful outcome. Whatever this young one is planning, and they're there to let you know that what they're planning, it's going to work out. Yeah, this is a self starter who needs no push, but she gets inspiration from you, and that's wonderful to know that you have inspired someone to do better, to do the best they can. It's great. Very healing moments just from the beach there. Yeah, yeah. It um it really seems as though this is a part of your different lifetimes, is to find that peaceful beach. I guess that's why you don't remember it, because it's been so many different places with that you found with different people in different lifetimes. And that seems to be the common thread, is you are a uniter. You attract the uh, the people who are at the extremes, and they see you walking the middle road, and they come to you. This is how you influence people, Mama. It's a wonderful thing, because you're doing good simply by living your life, simply by uh, being the person that you are. Yes, it's true. Yeah, yeah, it is. This is a really good time of the year for everyone, because of the Libra influence that we have out of the seventh house, and of course Libra ruled by Venus, the planet of love, and it's the Neptune is, as Pisces people will tell you, Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, and just takes it to the extreme. Venus feels the Venus inspires the love in Libra for everyone. Everyone. I mean, there's no one is ever left behind by a Libra. Libras actually love every person that they meet throughout their entire life, given that opportunity, right? Until they run into the wrong person that can really mess them up. But Libras are that sponge. They take on the emotions of the souls around them. Libra, the seventh house. You see, seven is the connection to the spirit world, and when you're ruled by Venus and you're a Libra, it increases the intensity of every relationship that you have, and that's what we are all feeling in our lives right now. And some of these are, of course, not harmonious get-togethers with other people. So those who maybe grind against your nerves are also being thrown in your path right now to give you a chance to forgive them. Of course, forgiveness. That's the key to Libras. They have the key to that door. A Libra can forgive anyone of anything, and it doesn't take them a lifetime to do it. Yes, it's true. Of course. Yeah, yeah. We're all products of our stars, and we all are need of relationships. Adam and Eve were thrown on this earth together, right? They couldn't have got along without each other. Wouldn't have made much sense to have only one of them here. You you learn through your relationships with other people. And of course, this always begins with your first relationships with your brothers and sisters and all the family members. And that's why during Libra right now, we're all having visits from our relatives. And our relatives are coming to us with their problems. Of course they are. They come to the one that they know loves them. And that's what family is all about. And this is a very family oriented time of the year for all of us to be able to feel and experience. And this is the reason your spirit guides are with you, is to feel your emotions, to experience what this soul who's in this living body and is walking around bumping into karmas and creating havoc in your own life. That's what they want to feel. That's why my guides have jumped into my mind and for this ride, right? I mean, what else could they have been looking for? Um, and when you think about it, this has to include people who don't have very interesting or exciting lives. People that we look at and say, "My, what a boring life that is." There are guides who have had such extreme lifetimes that when they're between lives, they want nothing but peace and quiet and harmony. That's why there are some souls out there who really need that peace and quiet. That's this must be why some souls have themselves locked up for life in prison to get away from other people. They may not realize why they're doing it, but that would certainly be a part of it. So on this day, that works out to be a number 3, if we add up today's date in any way using either 1 digit or 2 digit numbers, you come out, it's a 3 in any way that you get here. And 3 is about expressing what is in you, what's inside of you, being able to tell other people what you want and what you want from them. And this is setting boundaries. Not only letting you, I'm not telling you, I'm also informing my spirit guides of what I want. And they love that. The clearer the picture that you can put in your mind of what you really want, what it would take to make you happy, not making other people happy, not pleasing others, not not saying what other people want to hear. And we've become so good at that. It's that's not really expressing what's in your heart, and that's what Libra is all about. Is really being able to tell others that I will do this for you if you will do that for me, and being honest about it. And honest feedback is the most wonderful gift you can give to another human being. Whether whether you've known them every day of your life or you just met them in the back of a taxi cab, there are times when you are going to deliver the message people who come through your life. That's why they came. That's why they are suddenly bursting into your life. And if you'll listen, you'll be able to hear your guides telling you what to say. How do they know? They hear that other person's guides. The other person who breaks into your life is saying things to you, and in between those words are words from their spirit guides that are coming to them. The guide is speaking directly to them, and those words are picked up by my guides, and they deliver the messages to me through the tarot cards. I've never seen anything like this system. It's amazing. I never shuffle my cards. I make sure that every time I draw a card, I have touched every single card, all 79 of my cards. And then when I go back over, the guides lead me to the card that I'm supposed to see. Yeah, the sun coming out, the world getting better, me finding what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's very much like the water dowser, the water witch, holding the 3-pronged stick. When the right person picks up that stick, the stick comes to life. And if you think a stick comes to life, these cards, which have been around for thousands of years, to me become movies. Every color means something, and these cards start to move. They stop that when they actually begin to act out these scenes, and it's up to me to interpret what it is I'm seeing and what I am supposed to say to other people. It's the I read a book by Mr. Casey, the sleeping prophet, who Edgar Casey was born in a little town not 50 miles away from where I'm sitting right now. And so I understand what he went through and the religion that he must have had at that time. This is like 100 years ago. And Edgar he was shown the pages of the Akashic records, that there actually was a page of records for everyone. And that's the key. Everyone has an Akashic record. Your worst enemies have a page in the Akashic records. They're just as important to God as you are. And you're just as important as anybody else. And that's the harmonic line that you have to find there. You're not better than anyone else, and you're not worse than anyone else. We are all in this together. Every human being is capable of being as good as any human being there's ever been on this earth. Tamara says, bright blessings. Thank you very much, dear. That's a wonderful thought to have bright blessings coming from otherworldly sources, from the other side of the world. Who knows? The other side of the moon. We're in communication with everyone, and when we realize that everyone matters, we take on a new viewpoint, and we're able to change. The only human being on this planet that you will ever change is yourself. It is impossible to change another human being. You can influence them, Surely you can, but you can't change them. Change comes within. It's the only one that counts. That's the only one that matters. Other people will lie to you. They will tell you, "Oh, sure, I've changed. Yes, I'm a completely different person now." And it's just a matter of when that falls apart. Other people are just human. No, there's no superhumans around except for the angels and the fallen angels. And what a concept that is, that there were fallen, that there are the descendants of fallen angels living on this earth. Angels came first, right? Well, long before, who knows how long before humans. Angels came first, and angels discovered free will, the concept of free will, freely loving God is what created angels. The thought, the thought, the thought of God creates everything that we see in this universe. And the thought of God is inside of every human being. Some people choose to not find it, to cover it, to run away from it. But it's inside of every human being if they will take the time to listen and to find out that we have people coming together and working together. That's why we're here. That it's the only thing that makes sense. We're certainly not here to fight among ourselves. What possible good comes from any war that's ever been fought? If you'll think about it, losers never admit that they lost. Go look at the history books of a country that lost a war. It's written very differently, and this is after a war has supposedly been ended. You go to the Cold War section of people never forgetting. I mean, literally never getting over a war that's 50, 100 years old, and you're still taking revenge for that. That's that's a hole that humans fall into, a bad place that they can fall into, when really it's forgiveness that 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 the spirit world wants. The the reason that we have fallen angels is that there was a falling out among the angels over who would be closest to God. Who's top angel? Oh man. And this really went against the overall teaching of the universe. And this is why the fallen angels were cast down to earth. And according to Enoch, in his first book, they made it with human women. Enoch said that his remarkable life was the result of his father being a fallen angel. This is one of the reasons that the book of Enoch was taken out of the Bible. When the Roman emperor in the year 100 decided to embrace Christianity and take over Christianity and rewrite the Bible, and they did literally rewrite the entire Christianity at this point. They had to leave Enoch out because the Roman emperor thought of himself as being a living God. Plus, original Christianity said don't drink, and the Roman emperor was not going to go without his wine. So things change, and Enoch is the one who let us know about the existence of the fallen angels. Mama Lit says, niece calling, peace and love all. Have a wonderful week. Mama, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. And we will we will carry on. We got about another half hour to go, and if there's any questions that you'd like answered, if there's any what's on your mind, what's coming into your life this week that you'd like to have us take a look at. I went to the doctor this week. See that little red dot right there? Precancerous, right? And they froze it. And then they said, well, okay, keep an eye on that. It'll probably go away. Oh, man. There's nothing like getting old. You finally experience everything as you go along. And everything that comes into your life comes for a reason. There's always a reason for each and every event, each and every person who comes into your life. And it's you dealing with that creates good or bad karma. The most karmic thing in the world, the most karmic creating thing in the world, is physically making love. And if you make love to another person with fantasies of another third person, you're creating bad karma. That it is. Tamara says, birthday on Wednesday, feeling my starseed self, dealing with the creaks and the aches, and it's to let you know that you're alive. Without pain, you don't even know that you're alive. And then think about when you put your hand on a hot stove. You don't move that hand until the idea of that heat comes all the way up your arm and into your brain, and then goes back down to the hand to tell it to get out of the way. And that's the pathway of everything that comes into your life. It's what you accept, what you take in, and then of course what you do with it. This is forgiveness is the key. There's one of the most asked questions of people who get readings is is this person, my mate or whoever, going to get better? Are they going to change? Are they going to be able? Are they going to be able to forgive me of what I've done? And am I going to be able to ever trust them again? That sort of thing. So forgiveness is really the key, because if you can forgive someone, they are supposed to be in your life. And if you cannot forgive someone, that is your guides telling you that you don't need them in your life, that they're not supposed to be in your life. And it's your degree of forgiveness. And people will tell you it's easier to say that you forgive than it really is to forgive. To have that incident, that person's face out of your mind, and it's a very delicate thing to actually be able to forgive another soul who has hurt you, who has done something that maybe they meant to, maybe they didn't, but it turned out to be a bad thing. So it's a question of whether or not you can forgive them and allow them to restart. And I hear you. I hear you saying, but everybody doesn't make mistakes. Well, I'm afraid they do. there, there are no perfect human beings. We're all subjected to the same temptations, and this imaginary war between men and women that's been created by advertisers is a sick place. It's think about the billions of dollars that are spent every year on the trying to influence the other sex, trying to be something that you're not. And this the, the advertisers see are the arms dealers who come into the war and arm both sides. Give ammunition to both sides and just do their best to keep the war going on, to build mistrust between people. Think of all the movies you've ever seen. How many of them really had a happy ending? And that's because the people who make movies have revenge on their mind. Nothing sells like revenge. And it doesn't even have to make sense to anybody except the person who wrote the script. It's revenge is truly what makes the entertainment world go round when you come right down to it. And we only know what we're shown, what we're taught. Television, movies, they're the best teaching tool that has ever been on the planet. Think about how people are influenced by movies. I mean, completely, yeah, completely. And it's it's such a perfect art form that, and as it gets to be more and more common of people being able to make their own movies and have the technology to do this, as it opens to everyone, it is much like the music business. It's now open to anyone who has a computer. That's a recording studio, and this opens the doors in so many different ways for people to be able to express themselves. And expression is what has to come out of you, because if you lock it up inside, you're blocking the pathway to the stove and your hand on it. When you have blockages inside of you, you slow down everything. You slow down your thought, and when you slow down your thought, you've really slowed down your life, and you're not being the best that you can be, not really being able to show others how it's done. And this is what your life is all about. Your life is your teaching. It's the way that you get out there and live your life that impresses everyone. You know why did Jesus never take any credit for any of the healings? Because God did all the work. And Jesus knew he was just a conduit. He was just bringing that healing to the people, and it's it's a wonderful thing to be able to know that you are doing good instead of doing bad. And this is why it's so important for you to have a good image of yourself, for you to think highly of yourself. If you don't, you create so many problems. You sabotage everything that you do. You give up before you ever really have a chance to do anything. Mistakes always lead to success. What did Edison say of his hundreds of thousands of experiments? He was just finding out how not to do it. He eventually came around to the right thing. I'm gonna raise the get the fan on here just a second. Excuse me. There, have things cool down just a bit there, and we can get on with it. Uh, so let's see now. If tomorrow I had a birthday on Wednesday, uh, On Wednesday, the moon sign on Wednesday was in Taurus, and Tamara, you must have felt that earthly uh, feeling of love for others. That feeling that we have so much for our own family is what we need to spread around the world. And you as a Libra, you're a leader in this movement. In the as we shoot on out into space, ever expanding, and we are, of course, in the age of Aquarius. And when Jesus was here, we began the age of Pisces. The ages move backwards through the years. So Pisces lasted for 2,100 years, approximately. It's kind of a jagged edge on the end before it all actually came to an end on in 1962. And that's when the last vestiges of the Piscean age faded away, and we began the Aquarian age. In 1968, when they had the Woodstock Festival, on the tickets to the Woodstock Festival, it said Aquarian Exhibition. They were trying to bring in the age of Aquarius. It was and it worked. It really changed the world. The the hippies of the 60s were known for their long hair. And when the 70s came along and suddenly everybody had to have long hair, they were able to hide. They were able to infiltrate the entire world. The hippies won. The hippies got what they were looking for, and that was just a little peace and quiet, and to be able to love their neighbors, love their brothers and sisters. And that's why the hippie movement came in. It didn't start with sit-ins. It started with love-ins. Love-ins in the universities all around the country. Tamara says, I spent most of the day in R&R hermit mode. Oh, man. But I do try to do my part. And Alberto comes in and says, good evening. Alberto, how are you this evening? If oh, looks like you're having to make a decision about too many good things, too many choices. You have too many choices coming in right now, and you see the one up here that's covered by the sheet with the pink underneath that shows love coming out. That means you're supposed to take the thing that you know the least about. Let your guides lead you completely, and they'll take you to the right one. West Luna. My name is Franklin as well. Nice to meet you. Well, good to meet you. There are a lot of Franklins around the world. I took the name Franklin back on the radio 50 years ago. It's my middle name, and I've I've always had people who knew me by different names, because every radio station you go to wants to change your name for some reason. And you, if you, I know people by different decades. They know me by different names, and it's so West Luna. I appreciate you being here tonight. We're we're trying to create a circle, and everything in this universe is circular. There are no edges. There are no points. um, I tell you, I've been so lucky my entire life. I was when I was in college. I One of my roommates locked his keys in the car, and this person appeared in the parking lot. This great oversized person holding a little metal stick, which was a Slim Jim, that you pop cars open with. He was a bail bonds repo guy, right? And so Walter invites him back over to the apartment for a cold beverage, and once we get him in there, we see he's got a camera around his neck. This huge ex-Marine who's now in college on the GI Bill, and he's a couple of years older than we are, and he's got this camera, and he explains to us that he has gone to every club or every club meeting on campus and decided that the camera club was the one he could best meet girls in. And he pulls out a stack of photos of girls all around campus, and on the back of each one it has the name and phone number. In those days, you had to develop your own pictures, right? So he got their name and phone number, so he could give them these great pictures. And so we're all just sitting around, we're mesmerized, right? We're writing things down. This is what I'm going to do. And this guy, who I never saw again and had never seen before, leaned over to me and said, "One of the clubs I went to was the radio club. They're building a radio station, and they're looking for people to be on it. You ought to go over there." And the next day I went over there, and I spent 30 years on the radio. And in the summer of 1968, and there's so many people all across the country who can identify with this. In the summer of '68, the Federal Communication Commission opened up the FM band, and they allowed universities and colleges all across America to put on their campus radio stations. And I remember going home for Christmas that year, and everybody from every school all around was working on the campus radio stations. Alberto says, "Frankly, good to see you again. Going through a lot right now." And the person in question, what's happening with her? Ooh, okay, so Maria Teresa. Oh, Alberto, what? Oh man, she may have already flown. This, yeah. Let's see in her mind, she's broken away and has made the leap out the window there, right? But that's just in her mind right now. So this must be very fresh. It must have just happened, and so she's still very, very angry about what happened. Pardon me. And that's my guides telling me to get off of that. But right now she's very angry and has in her mind to break away. But that can change, and the way it can change is your reaction to what she does. If you allow it, it could be the breaking point. But so it's up to you. As we were talking a moment ago, if you can forgive someone, everyone makes mistakes. Good Lord. If you could take it back, how many things would you take back, right? Everybody makes mistakes, spur of the moment mistakes. They've got their mind on one thing, something else surprises them, and they're just not ready for it. They're not up to the task of dealing with things that come into them. So, Alberto, it's right now you're on the outs, but you have to ask yourself, what part did you play in this, right? You must be the closest one to her, so you must have had something to do with it there. So it's really, Not really completely up to you, because for her to come back from this, she's going to have to forgive you. So this is don't get back together for the wrong reasons. That's if your heart tells you that this is a forgivable thing, and everything is. I mean, it's what's the option? So if you can talk about it, if you can honestly open your heart and examine this, uh, then you'll, if nothing else, you're going to learn from it. You'll know better. You'll see this coming. Yeah, there must have been. If you look back now, there must have been signs that this didn't just happen overnight. Because I mean, that's a blowout. That's I'm gone, slamming the doors. So it's up to you as to what can happen, and this is why you need to know what it is you're looking for, what it is that you're trying to find from the woman, what part of your life you feel like she does fill, and nothing. There are no true deal breakers, because a human can forgive another human of anything because they understand it. And if you understand what happens in someone else's life, then you can empathize with it or sympathize with it. And there's a big difference between sympathizing with someone and trying to solve all of their problems, and thinking that, boy, if I only solve all their problems, then they will love me. And it doesn't work that way. What you're looking for is unconditional love. Love without strings attached. I will love you if. That's what you never want to say. You want to be truthful with the other soul, and that's how you create good karma. If you make love with the express purpose of making the other person blissful, then you're creating good karma. If you do it for any other reason, be it power, control, there are so many different reasons, then you're creating bad karma. And this world has a hard time because it's so authoritarian. So many people trying to tell other people what to do. And this is something I have cautiously avoided for my life. And I qualify that by saying I only tell people what I hear from their guides. And I'm told what to say, what to do, and this changes with every single person. No two are alike. There are no two souls who are exactly alike, and this is the beauty of the world, is that we get a chance through reincarnation to come back and see things from a different point of view, and that's truly what you're here for. Is you're learning your karmic lesson. So if you see it from this side, and you'll see it from that side, and there's every chance in the world that you're going to have dozens of lives spread over thousands of years, and each time you get to make the final decision of whether or not you have become enlightened. And at that point, there'd be no need to be reincarnated back into another life. But if you decide that you need another life, now you have a choice to make, right? I truly believe that those who are in the spirit world can choose their parents. And think about how dicey that would be to try and look at a couple, say in their 20s, and know what they're going to be in their 40s. You're guessing, right? And this is why some people want good looking parents, some people want rich parents. And you can, make your choices as you go. And you see how people can be so wrong when they do decide who their parents are going to be. Uh, Now here's Tamara saying, wishing sweet peace of mind to Alberto. Great night, all. That's a wonderful thought, Tamara. Great night. You make your own universe. You create it, and you create it by showing other people. What point is there to being a seer if you live in seclusion? If you live in a cave, you're not going to show anybody anything, are you? And this is the reason for seers being around when when the when they tore down the temple in Jerusalem. There were three different gates: Pharisees, the Sadducees, and the Essene. And the Essene are the ones who see the spirit world. This is Mary and Joseph were in a commune that everything in the commune belonged to God. Everything. When Mary and Joseph both took a vow to give 8 hours of work every day for God, to study God 8 hours out of every day, and to serve God 8 hours out of every day. That's 24 hours. They they were in they were incredibly uh, sold on the idea of being connected to God all the time. Right? Then pray 100 times a day, and you'll take care of everything. If you can stay in connection to the spirit world, that's all that really matters. So our time is up. I'm Franklin, your astrologer, and Alberto says thank you to Mara. And well, everyone, I think we will put this to bed now. And I thank you for being a part of it tonight, and for being a part of the world, of the universe. And we'll all do it together. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week, same time, and in the same station.